the American dream right there. You know, beautiful story with a happy ending.
No. I've been rehabilitated.
Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, we'll be doing a review for The Penguin Episode 2, Inside Man. Oh man, this show continues to just knock it out of the park. Very strong opening episode last week. Now, if you're not aware, The Penguin has moved to Sunday nights. The first episode was going to come out on Thursday. I think it was because they didn't want to mix everything in with Industry, but Industry's finale is actually tonight as well. So I don't really know. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But anyways, going forward, Penguin will be the Sunday night show for HBO for the rest of the season. In another great episode, high tension. We continue to follow up the story. Oz continues to be just so ruthless in his quest to get out of the sticky situation he put himself in. And of course, Sofia Falcone, when you learn more about her, Christian Milian is just so good in the role, so menacing. There's a presence to her that is just intimidating, and I really, really love to see it. And I think that once these two characters finally align in their vision, then we're gonna have problems. So let's get into it. We're gonna go full spoilers. I'll talk about some of the. I got a list of some of the things I want to touch on from the episode. So we're gonna get deep into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the episode, go check it out. Come back, watch the rest of the review. So we begin with what looks to be like Sofia at Arkham being visited by her brother Alberto. But it turns out this is kind of a nightmare due to some therapy. We do see Dr. Julian Rush, played by I wrote it in my notes Juice, because that was his character from Sons of Anarchy, but it's Theo Rossi. We'll see if this character comes back a little bit more. He was using this kind of therapy that's like this red light flashing back and forth. I don't know if that's based on something real or not. So if you know anything about that, let me know. I made a note about Oz is about to go into the house with the rest of the family, and he's chugging some Pepto, right? And I'm like, damn, dude, been there. You know, stress, tummy's upset. Pepto helps out. So that was definitely something that I love the little touches of that world, making it a little bit more grounded, even more relatable, because like we've all been in stressful situations. So Maroni is visited by Oz. He's actually going into jail. He's not going into the family. The family he's going to see is the Maronis. But Maroni's visited by Oz to kind of maneuver their takeover. Right? They set up a plan for Oz to continue to work with the Maronis to give them the drops. But plans continue to change. Like no one, like Oz can have the best laid out plans, but they're not going to go his way. And I think that's what makes this character interesting. That when things go bad, he can still kind of get out of it. Sophia goes into the meeting with the rest of the family because they're having a meeting. After everything goes badly with the drops and they get stolen, Oz comes back with some of the people that kind of made it out alive, and Sophia just kind of calls them out on their BS, right? They only care about the money. They only care about the product. They don't care about both the family looking weak. I don't think she was making the point that they don't care about the people that they're losing because of this. Because to them, I feel like most of them are just tools, right? Even Oz, as high as he is on the level, he's still just a tool for the rest of the family. But Sophia wants to make sure that they understand that they are being disrespected, and she's really speaking up for the family. But these guys, Luca and Johnny Vitti and whatever, like all those guys, they don't respect her as a part of the family. We learned something fun about Oz Cobb, that he's one of those people that when they eat cilantro, it actually tastes like soap. Like there's a genetic component to that. So I thought that was very interesting, because Vic goes out to get some tacos, he gets them wrong. In the meanwhile, Sophia goes to visit a detective who's been addicted to the drops. He was one of her dad's kind of like cops that he had on the payroll, and he wants the detective to help her weed out the rat inside the family. That's why this is called Inside Man, because Sophia's trying to figure out who's been giving out information to the Maronis. Um, we see that Sophia also sleeps on the ground. This is before the night of the funeral. She sleeps on her closet on the ground, so she's still readjusting to being in the outside world. Um, Meanwhile, Oz that same night was having a get together with Eve and some of her girls, and Eve kind of puts together that Oz killed Alberto, and now she's using um, his her alibi to kind of trying to get out of it. So she's worried about herself. She's worried about her girls. She's got like this. I guess she's kind of I don't know. She's got to stay with the girls that Oz works with at the clubs, and that's kind of how they know each other. It's a very interesting relationship with Eve and Oz, but it does look like they do care about each other, at least on the surface level. Uh, we see that Oz gets a call to respond to an emergency from his mom. Looks like her mom had another episode. So Oz has to go out there with Vic. Oz speaks Spanish again, which is really interesting. Is the reason that he learned Spanish so that he could talk to the landlord without his mom knowing what they were talking about, maybe, right? We know that he speaks Spanish from the film because in the film he was the one that kind of solved the whole La Rata Alada, the wing rat, part of the riddle, which is wild. That was one of the parts of the movie that I was like, wait, why doesn't Batman speak Spanish? I feel like he would know some Spanish and would have figured that out. But anyways, Oz speaks Spanish to the landlord. He's trying to um, he's trying to help her out. He's trying to get the landlord to keep an eye out on his mom as her health unfortunately continues to deteriorate. We go to the funeral for Alberto. We actually see protesters outside. So the fact that Sofia is out of Arkham is a big deal in the city, right? There's a lot going on, of course, after the events from the movie, but even this is a big deal because Arkham's been releasing like a lot of people. It looks like so. People are not happy about this. Um, then we see that after the funeral, and Sophia has a conversation with Oz, and Oz opens up a little bit about his brothers and how when they passed, his mom took it really hard. Now, to everyone else, Oz, I believe he told them that his mom is dead, but we know better. Why we know differently, and now we know why he takes such precaution to go out there to visit her. Um, so then Oz gets a call from the Maronis, and they're just straight up about to kill him. Like they are ready to kill Oz, but he gives them some pictures of Johnny Vitti as leverage. So he's still proving his worth to the Maronis. A great performance because Colin Farrell plays it really well, where it goes like in the flip of a hat. Just going from this really intense scene that it escalates very quickly. We also get to learn more about the Maroni family. Um, and they go into it in the inside of the episode where Maroni actually met his wife, who is of Iranian descent. So his crew, the Maronis, are actually the part of their Persian mafia. They go into a lot of detail about that. I think that's a very interesting kind of approach to the Maroni family. So Sophia then kidnaps one of the lieutenants that was part of the whole shootout when they took the drugs, and Oz has to get him back because otherwise this guy's gonna talk, right? He's gonna spill his guts, maybe literally. So Oz starts to stir the pot, like because Sophia's doing all this on her own, and like I mentioned earlier, like all the bosses, her uncle, like who's in charge now, and his lieutenants, like they don't respect her. So her doing this on her own leads to Oswald having some opportunities to distract them both. Oswald kills Ervat, who was the one that had the information, and now Oz has to make it seem like it was somebody else that did it, right? So he's got to plant the knife on someone else. He ends up planting it on Castillo, who was the guy that's been helping out Sophia this whole time. And Sophia wanted to kill this dude. Her uncle ends up doing it. But man, the penguin, cold blooded dude. But I will say, he had he had a vendetta against this dude from the previous episode anyway. So yeah, don't cross the penguin. I guess that's the main the main thing. We've seen him kill at least one person per episode, which is wild. Vic does mess up earlier in the episode, and I think their relationship is going to continue to be very bumpy. So we'll see, but that's really well played as well. Um, so after all this kind of shakes out, Sophia is finally gonna make a move because her uncle wants to send her away to Italy, to kind of like, I don't know. I guess he doesn't want her around Gotham. I feel like although he doesn't acknowledge it, he sees that Sophia can be a threat to his power, so he wants to get her off. But yeah, they finally meet up. Sophia brings Oz into the plan, and she wants him at her side, when she claims the power from the family. So we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, fantastic episode. So much happened. Like I said, great performances, but man, ups and downs, and the tension in this episode was wild. Really good stuff though. They end up with a cover of "Happy Together" at the end, but it's kind of a slower cover of the song. So that was also very interesting. And then, like I said, the inside the episodes that play right after, on if you're watching on HBO or on Max on the app, are very good. I highly recommend them. I haven't listened to the podcast, but that's probably something that I want to get into soon. But yeah, I'm loving this show. It's so good, high quality stuff. So highly recommend if you get a chance to check it out, go ahead and do so. So if you've seen the latest episode of The Penguin, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And stay tuned because we have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.